Hello friends, let's see the anterior abdominal wall muscles. In our previous lectures, we have already completed the skin and the superficial fascia of the anterior abdominal wall. In this lecture, we are going to see the anterior abdominal wall muscles. The most anterior muscle which is situated, or we can say most superficial muscle just under the superficial fascia of the anterior abdominal wall, it is the external oblique muscle. And this external oblique muscle, it is also called as obliquus externus abdominis. This external oblique muscle arises by the 8 fleshy muscular slips from the lower 8 ribs from its outer surface and the lower border, something like this. And out of these 8 fleshy slips, upper 4 slips, they are going to interdigitate with the serratus anterior muscle, because the serratus anterior muscle, it is going to arise from the upper 8 ribs, while the lower 4 slips of this external oblique muscle, it is going to interdigitate with the latissimus dorsi muscle, because this latissimus dorsi muscle, it is also going to arise from the lower 4 ribs. After getting origin from this fascia slips, most posterior fibers passes almost vertical and going to insert over the iliac crest. Over the iliac crest, these muscle fibers, they are going to insert over the anterior half of the outer lip of the ventral segment of the iliac crest. The posterior border of this external oblique muscle, it is free, and it is going to form the lumbar triangle of the patid along with the latissimus dorsi. So this is the muscle of the latissimus dorsi, and this form the lumbar triangle of the patid somewhere here, which is formed by the external oblique muscle, latissimus dorsi, and the iliac crest. The other fibers of the external oblique muscle, they are passes downward, forward, and medially, and these fibers, they are going to form a broad aponeurosis, which is italic F in shape, where the upper part of this aponeurosis is nearly horizontal, and from the ninth costal cartilage, the aponeurosis, it passes downward, straight vertical, and the fibers of this aponeurosis, they are also passes downward, forward, and medially. After reaching anterior to the anterior superior iliac spine, this aponeurosis, it becomes little bit more broad, and this aponeurosis is going to pass over the rectus abdominis muscle and going to form the anterior wall of the rectus sheath and going to insert over the linea alba, which extends from the xiphoid process to the pubic symphysis. The lower margin of this aponeurosis, which extends from the anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle, and these fibers, they are going to form one ligament, and this is called as the inguinal ligament. So inguinal ligament is nothing but it is the lower free margin of the external oblique aponeurosis. Just above the pubic tubercle, this external oblique aponeurosis having one triangular gap within it, and this gap, it is called as the superficial inguinal ring. This external oblique muscle, it is going to be supplied by the lower 6 thoracic nerves from its ventral rami. So we can say it is going to supplied by T7 to T12 spinal nerves, ventral rami. Now let's see the inguinal ligament in little bit more detail.